Hey everyone, welcome to Beer Explaining for Sunday, August 23rd. I'm getting it right on the first try. It only took 2 weeks into the month.
You cheated though. You did look at your one.
I actually was only looking for the actual day number though, not the actual month part, but I totally cheated. That's fair. Also, my watch has 10% of battery, so that's not great.
That's not great.
Well, I'm gonna get your phone this time.
My phone had 89% when I checked it 30 minutes ago, so hopefully we're okay. I wasn't using it a lot this morning. We were watching Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, perhaps the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time, actually. It's pretty bad. It's definitely worse than Excellent Adventure.
Yes. Yes.
If you want to critique.
But fun.
Fun, sure.
And you have to, because what's next weekend? Bill and Ted 3. Bill and Ted Face the Music. I'm looking forward.
I am too. It's going to be really good.
It looks fun.
It's going to be good. So walking to beer splitting, like I said. So this week we're doing Oakland beers. So we did a little Oakland run on Thursday.
Yes.
Shane wrote a blog about it on our website,
I did.
beersplaining.com. Apparently that was available, so I bought it.
Welcome to Beer Explaining.
So go check it out. Read his little blog on it. It was not the most exciting of beer trip days we've had. We only managed to drink beer at 2 locations.
And we really had to struggle to find 2 places.
We did actually have to struggle.
It was not easy.
You know,
Every place had either no food or the food wasn't coming until after 4.
we still managed to buy $400 worth of beer on our trip, though.
You weren't supposed to say that out loud.
So that worked out nicely.
Any story? She just didn't know yet.
Oh.
Thanks,
I
Corey.
did not get that alert.
I haven't paid him yet.
That's because Corey put it all on his card.
Yeah.
Dude, that is not how you circumvent that.
But it was a good price. We paid roughly $4.50 a beer.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
Great price.
Hey, we almost bought kegs too, because the keg price at Oakland United.
Oakland United, yeah, cake price.
Ridiculously good prices.
They had their Mexican lager, their Pilsner, and their Hef were $65 for the keg for 5 gallons. So that was pretty cool.
Plus a $35 deposit. So for what most people are charging for a keg deposit of $100, you get the beer too.
Yeah, we
Sounded
opted
like a
not
good
to,
deal.
but you know, we could have. We thought about it.
We thought about it, and then we decided no.
So
Showing restraint.
Yeah, plus we hadn't had any of those beers yet, so we weren't sure if they'd be good enough to have 40 pints of.
That's true.
That was probably more that than restraint, honestly.
Again,
So today's beers, they're actually not all from Oakland. One of these beers was brewed in San Diego, but on our stops we hit up Modern Times, so Modern Times is in here. Their facility in Oakland, kind of on the outskirts, is I don't know. It looks really nice. I've never managed to get inside.
we've been there 3 times and never been able to go inside.
They're really nice at the curb, though.
They were.
Great.
The guy was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very friendly. And it looks like a great location down by, what is it, Jack London Square?
No, it's not by Jack London at all. It's it's on the other side of it. Yeah. So from there we went to Cloven Hoof. We got some food. It's a butcher shop / sandwich shop / food place. It's really good. It's been on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, I think.
Yes, it has.
So that was nice.
It was really good. That Cuban sandwich, the pork and the sliced ham was so good. Looking at some of the steaks, we watched some dude buy pork chops that I kid you not were this thick. He bought 4 of them and they were $200.
They were pretty thick. Then we spent 45 minutes at homeroom waiting for some gluten-free mac and cheese. That was fun.
That is true.
It was really
Patty
good.
likes our
It
background.
was more like 30. Oh yeah, our background today. I'm calling it Greece. It's
I like the columns.
hopefully a location that is less smoky this year and more cool than our current location here in Northern California, where you can't go outside and run because the AQI is like 200.
Yes. It looks like, if you walk outside, it looks like we're in a permanent fog bank. Only it's smoke from the fire.
It's pretty rough. It's pretty.
Pretty
Patty probably ran anyway because Patty's sad.
Patty is savage. It's true. She probably got her 10 miles and didn't even blink.
So we have some Modern Times in here, and then we went to Novel Brewing's in here. That's actually probably that's my favorite brewery in Berkeley proper.
I agree. Berkeley, Oakland area,
It's small though. It's like smaller than
teeny
like
teeny.
the beer slam.
I don't even think they could get 20 people in there before COVID.
That's 5 hours. 20's fine. That's pretty good. It's a good spot if you're in Berkeley. What else do we get? Ghost Town.
Ghost Town.
They got
We always
nice
like Ghost
seating.
Town.
That's like a warehouse though. There's plenty of seating in there.
Parking's more problematic than anything there, but the seating in the space is great.
Let's see. Then also included in here. So that's in here. Also included in here is Original Pattern Brewing, which is down by Jack London.
Down by Jack London Square.
On the way to original pattern, we did pass a new brewery called Buck Wild Brewing. They appear to be building, because why not open a brewery in the midst of a pandemic when you can't have people inside? If you're going to spend 6 months building it, you might as well be while people can't use it. So logically, that makes some sense.
Yeah. And it looked like another great facility.
Maybe they got a discount. Maybe they rented it at the beginning of the pandemic and they got
Could
a
be.
discount for like 6 months because no one would be able to use it and the use was vacant. I don't know. Then we went to Oakland United, which is also near Jack London. That was where we got our first beer of the day, actually. And
They had a barbecue place.
that was it. That was it for the Oakland trip, right? So we got Modern Times, Novel, Oakland United, Original Pattern, Ghost Town.
Ghost
So yeah, we went to all 5.
We also made stops at Ale Industries, but we didn't buy any beer there, but we did buy the coffee, because right next door is what, Red Bay Coffee.
Red Bay Coffee.
The wives love the Red Bay Coffee.
Best coffee ever.
It's really good. The one I got is really nice. It talks about cherry compote, almonds, and vanilla.
Oh.
It's an espresso blend. It's really good.
Yeah, I didn't get it, because I got you other ones.
It was really, really
Next
good.
time, next
It's
time.
really good.
Okay.
And then on the way home, we stopped at Epidemic because, well, the fires are kind of making traffic really shitty over 580 over the
Yes.
Altamont, so we took the back route, which led us to Epidemic. So,
Yes. And we
that's
like the
it.
epidemic.
That's it. We spent 10 minutes giving you guys the spiel. So
That was our Thursday.
we should probably start drinking at some point, right?
I would say so.
All right, well, if this is your first time here, this is how it works. We do appearance and taste first. So we're going to smell and look. I was like, what is the other sense we're going to use? So we're going to smell and look at them and then rate those. Then we'll go through and score them.
That's pretty good.
Wow. Wow.
That was
I
good.
lost it there.
You recovered well.
So today's numbering, FY, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know there's been some numbering issues here in the past. So 1 is in the back, 2 through 5 are in the front. Okay. Anything else you want to rant about before we start? We
No,
have some
we
beer
do
starts.
some good ranting in
Alright.
the middle, I think.
All right, this means
Excuse me.
Hashtag no COVID.
Yes, no COVID. Okay, so I'm thinking Corey's really going to like beer number 3's color than most.
Certainly the wife was like, this beer looks amazing. You know, I mean, it looks like orange juice.
It's very orange juicy. It is. So if you like your New Englands, that's pretty much the juicy New England compared to your other hazy, like number 4 here is a little bit more, I think, traditional New England with just the haze. And number 1 really, I think, is the most traditional New England because it's really just hazy.
Actually, kind of think 1, 2, 4. 4, I think, is actually probably my favorite of the colors, honestly.
agree.
This is what I feel like a hazy should look like. I feel like there comes a point where you sort of go a little bit overboard and you end up with this really, really juicy one. To be fair, the odds are probably good just looking from color, that I'm actually going to like drinking this one better than I like drinking this one. I just think this one kind of has like a more perfect color line.
It does.
Um,
It is, again, it's, I think, much more traditional hazy.
This one isn't very hazy at all, which means it's probably just classified as New England as opposed to a hazy, because they're differentiating now. It used to be New England was hazy, and now there's kind of New England and hazy, so it's not a little different here. So I'm going to go with a 9 over here on number 4 for myself.
I'm going to give 9, and then I'm going to give number 1.
I think 1 is
8.
1 is really pretty. I'd probably go 8 on that as well.
And number 2, I like it too. I'm going to give it an 8. It's not quite as hazy, but it's got a good.
And this is a nice
overall
looking beer, honestly. This is number 5.
I'm not actually a big fan of the orange juicy looking ones, so I'm going to give that a 7.
The orange juicy ones are weird because sometimes they're great, but sometimes like you end up with this color that kind of ends up with like sort of a brownish sort of tinge depending on the lighting.
Like mine has some brown to it because of the wood, but then you come down and get some light behind it, and it changes the color.
Like nobody wants to drink a brown beer when they're drinking an IPA. Well, not no, I'm sure someone does. They're fucking weird, but whatever. So let's see here. I think I'm gonna give it a 7 on number 3 there.
That's what I did.
I actually
I actually gave 5 a 7
It's
too.
really nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that one actually an 8. I think it's really pretty. I'm not sure on this one though. It feels like it's just in between this one and this one.
I actually like number 2 a lot because it's a little hazy. It's a little more hazy than 5.
You can't see
It's
too.
not
Like I
as
cannot
easy.
see our executive producer's face through the glass. So, you know, I probably can with this one a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, she films through a little, not a lot though. That's what executive producers are for. Be stared at through glasses. That is true. I'm gonna give it a 7. I think I'm just.
Yeah, I give my lowest scores were 7s. I gave a 7 to
They're
number
all-
3 and number 5.
They're all good-looking beers. They're all good
I agree.
beers. All right, I'm gonna try some smells, I guess.
Let's start with me.
Can you remind people of the scale that
Oh,
you're scoring on?
Thank you.
Absolutely. So we're using the Brewers Friend Beer Party tasting sheet here. So appearance is out of 10, smell is out of 10, Then taste is out of 30, aftertaste is out of 20, and then drinkability is out of 30 for a total of 100. So these first two are just out of 10s because they're the least important things in a beer, which is probably pretty true, actually.
It is. I mean, it's not worth nothing, but it's certainly not worth as much as taste or drinkability.
It's not strong, number one, I don't think.
It's got a decent smell, but it's not. I have to use 2 hands because I'll spill it.
Oh, yeah, the video looks terrible if you always using 2 hands.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what to do. Like, literally.
What am I going to do with this fucking hand?
Small glass, just use one hand.
No, my hands shake. I can't. Like, I just can't.
All right, well, one of these we have to pause for a second. We have to take our time. We have to do a singular sip where we both at the exact same time.
Okay.
So that I can make that the Instagram clip, right?
Gotcha.
Otherwise I have to go through for some point where we'll kind of drink at the same time. You've got like 9 hands out there and you can't see your glass.
Fair.
You can have Denise just hide behind you and use your hand like that and drink out there. It'll totally look
I know.
legit.
Okay, here. Try. See?
Okay, 2 hands for Shane.
That's what I can't. That's what I get.
2 hands for Shane. 2 hands for
That's
Shane.
why I can't. Like, my
Sure,
hands just
sure.
shake way too bad. At least when they're this full. Like, if it's halfway full, then I can use one hand.
Okay, we can do halfway.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
This
Okay,
is
so
like-
you know, it's fine. I think the smell's fine. I'm going to give it a 7. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.
It's fine.
I like the smell. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's a
It's
7.
fine. I'm sorry about that, Shane. I didn't
Yeah.
put your disability on display there.
That's quite all right. Denise makes fun of it too. So it's good.
Yeah, but she's mean. I'm nice. I don't know. I'm just not getting all that smell today. I'll give another 7. Got something in my nose literally there. It's great.
I'm not getting a whole lot there either.
All right, this one.
Number 3 should.
This one looks
number
like
three
it should smell.
explode in aroma. It really, really should.
I mean, if there's some smell. My nose is. Fuck no, I'm fucking spilling. My nose is broken today.
Oh, we didn't do the coffee beans.
Oh, no, I don't think it really made a difference. None of these are gonna. We did it last week because of the kettle sours required smell.
Yeah,
It's
but
probably
I
a little better. It's
I
a
get
little
some
bit.
citrus there. I do get some citrus.
Yeah.
You smelled too.
That was the fullest
not,
glass.
Not quite as excessively
Well,
as
thank
I
you,
did.
executive producer. Oh, I got a little taste of that though on my spill when I licked it off my hands. That's gonna be good.
It's cheating. I mean, but no, seriously, folks, look at this. I'm not even sure a very stable hand can pick this beer up and not spill it.
Oh,
Look at this thing. I'm just gonna lean into it.
I'm literally dripping around trying to do this. I'm not gonna it again. I don't know, man. My nose is broken today, or just
I'm not. It could also be though. There is some really good aromas coming from behind us from the food. So
That's true. That's true. The wife is making chili cheese hot wings today, so you might get a pick
With
it up
homemade
in
French
the
fries.
Show.
Mhm. Mhm. See, I'm getting 7s across the board. Really, like I'm not getting much at all.
Yeah, I'm just getting nothing. Like I'm not getting bad smells.
No, so I'm going 7s across the board.
I gave the 1 and 8. It really did have a little more
Number
smell.
3. It does have a little bit more. You're right. You know what? That's only to be fair because it does have a little bit more of a citrusy smell to it.
I feel good. I don't know. I just feel like my nose. Like I just wish I had better aroma.
Somebody's already cheated.
All right, executive producer number 2's tried them all. All right, well, I'm not fucking
I
drink
mean,
now.
someone has to, right?
It's true.
Well,
True.
we're-
Good
yeah,
job.
They're not poisoned.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah,
makes it not
take it.
poison. Yeah, that's really good. It's super crushy.
It is very. It's not overly citrusy. It's got a good flavor to it. Here, hold on, see.
Oh yeah, we should probably done first in your moment. We can synchronize. Hold on. We can put that.
Synchronized tasting.
Okay, we're gonna synchronize that. We're gonna pick it up. We're gonna look at the camera for like a second, hold it, and then we're gonna take a drink. All right?
Gotcha.
Great. This is really good television. Are you ready?
Pick it up.
It's good.
It is good. Okay, so on drinkability, I like it because it's
Now
not,
I have a clip.
it's not overpowering. Well, I think Denise did executive producer number 2 or number 1.
I like that we explained what we're gonna do. And
We're equal. We don't have to be numbered.
Okay, co-executive producers.
Thank you.
I'm somehow. I'm
Okay.
almost drinking all the fucking.
I'm going like 26 on drinkability. I like it. It's got a very good flavor. The aftertaste isn't too overpowering. I give it a 26 also on taste. Like I say, it's a good flavor, but not.
I think the drinkability is actually a little higher than the taste on, just because it feels like you could drink the shit out of this.
And I think part of that is because the aftertaste, I actually like a lot because it's not. I'm going 18 on that. It's like you said, in the end, it's just crushable. Like I could knock back quite a few pints of this and not really even.
I don't call it crushed though. I've literally never crushed a can like in my entire life.
Well, that is the beer phrase.
I've never like drank in a beer and just like smashed the can across my head. Which I think is, no, why would you do that? Why would you even drink beer out of cans? It's just weird.
Well, I was young once. You never did the 24-pack of Miller Genuine Draft?
No, man, my Miller Genuine Draft only came in one size. 40.
40. How did I know that? How did I know that? That Corey was rolling the 40s.
I did in fact drink 40s.
The 8-ball too?
No, we only drank MGD with 40s and MGD. That was the hit.
I don't think I've ever drank out of a 40.
It's kind of fun just walking around like with a 40 in your hand.
Giant bottle of beer.
So ridiculous.
It's really. And did you have the brown bag too?
No.
No, you brought
It's
that-
usually around parties, right? So whatever, we just bought it. I always wanted to be like in that Snoop Dogg video where homie opens up the fridge and it's just like laying, just like rows of 40s, and the fridge is all like icy cold. You can sort of see like the cold smoke come out. It's just like,
hey, you know what?
40s.
That's
just Roji just reaching in and grabbing 40 off the
recreate
top.
that shot. We need to
It's
totally see
awesome
if we can
looking.
create that shot.
We have to buy like 40 40s.
I don't know about
No.
40.
No.
That wasn't even me.
Been vetoed for buying 40s apparently.
Apparently.
No,
Yeah.
beer tastes awful.
You could actually
MGD
just,
is not that bad.
if you don't use the 40s, if you just use the regular cans to recreate it, it would be fine.
No, but that's the point of the 40.
We already have that fridge, to be fair.
That's what I'm saying. All you need is this.
No.
No, the problem with the 40s, see the thing is though with the 40s, from like an aesthetics perspective, right there, really big, right? First of all, and then they sort of tailor out so they're clear, so you can see them all. Like you see, well, if you put a bunch of cans like that, all you're going to see is a bunch of aluminum can tops.
Yeah, it's just not quite the same. And you stagger them. So you put the bottoms of the bottles facing one way, and then you can stack the other one on top of them. So you see the
Well, they're
label,
laying down,
and then
not
you see the
standing
bottom.
up?
No,
They're all laying down.
like a
Oh.
wine fridge.
Yeah, like a wine fridge full of 40s.
Yes, and I have a wine fridge.
No.
Whatever.
It
You know?
loses some of it if you use wine for that shot.
No, it has to be the beer.
So we were just going to use a wine fridge. We don't buy enough bottles either. Honestly, I was drinking a beer. This is actually a minor tangent.
Hold on. It starts with he was drinking a beer, which never happened.
Right, I was drinking beer the other day out of a bottle. It was like a North Coast weed or something. And my wife looks over at me and she's like, are you drinking out of the bottle? And I was like, well, I mean, yeah. Like,
What are you gonna do?
sometimes, like, it's a bottle. Like, it's pretty drinkable. She's like, you never drink out of the bottle. You always put a glass. So I was like, I always put cans in glasses for sure. But on occasion, I'll just drink out of the bottle because I'm lazy. But I don't like drinking out of cans.
I'm not a big fan of drinking out of cans. I actually do. If I buy bottles, I almost always drink out of the bottle.
Yeah, I don't think drinking out of the bottle's that bad. I just think drinking out of cans sucks, though.
It does. It's not fun.
And don't even try to sell me on those stupid can openers that just cut your whole top off so your can is now like a glass. That's just stupid.
Nope.
That's dumb.
I agree.
I'm sorry if that's your jam. I don't know.
It's not.
All right, whatever. We're doing it. Number two. Move number two. Let's see here.
Oh my god, you guys only tried one?
Wow.
Okay, that's really good too.
It's not as good as number one, in my opinion. It's close, though. I don't think it's that far
I'm
off.
getting stone fruit in the front, maybe.
It feels more acidic to me than number one did, too. Like, there's a little more, like, acid.
There is more acid. I agree with you, but it's got. I actually like this one slightly better than number one on the upfront taste, but not the aftertaste. So overall, I think it's going to be a very similar score. But I like the original taste.
It feels like the modern times to me. I haven't had any of these beers ahead of time.
Yeah, I haven't had any of these beers either.
We actually avoided them.
That is correct.
We've got a new strategy in my fridge where we put different colored 4-pack rings on them based on what they are, like show beers, amber beers.
Oh, you're
Like,
gonna have
those
silver
are-
colored rings?
Those are the two. Yeah, this is the red ones.
Ah.
If it's in a red ring, don't drink it for the show.
I'm gonna have to do that.
So show beer rings,
Yeah, this is
amber
drinking
rings.
before.
Yes, I've made a point this time though of not drinking them. I did have some of the modern times, the 5 and the 7, which I don't think were hazy.
We're tasting the 5.
Oh, okay.
One of these is 5. Okay. It's a New England.
But I drank it out of the can, so I didn't look at it. I didn't think it was good.
This tastes like this got that modern times vibe to me. It's good though. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna give
I
it
think
a
it's only slightly
27,
worse. I think it's slightly worse.
but I'm giving it a 16 on aftertaste and a 25 on drink ability. So it's gonna be slightly less than number one, just because of the aftertaste.
Oh, I just turned one.
Oh, I didn't add up my points here. It's 33, 41, 59, 85 for being number one.
15, 41, 48, 58. 85 number 1.
15, 40,
39,
67,
65,
83.
80. I got 80 on number 2. Alright, I'm gonna get the rest of this stuff.
Our junior producer there looks totally thrilled, doesn't he?
You know, he got to watch Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
He did.
It's complete.
You know,
So I was, plus his mom knows to show him Beetlejuice next.
that's correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So Beetlejuice coming up for his education. This Friday, though, Bill and Ted's Face the Music.
I've been looking forward to it ever since I saw the preview. Like when I heard they were doing it, I'm like, why? And then I saw the previews. I'm like, yep,
Looks
yep,
great.
I
Looks
need to
fun.
see that.
Looks hilarious.
For me, it's kind of like when I first saw the previews or the idea that they were going to do Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, that just looks so stupid. Like you got a rocket.
Oh, it's so worked though.
And no, it's one of my favorite Marvel movies. But I was like thinking about the whole time. I'm like going into it pessimistically, like how good could this be? Freaking tree and a freaking raccoon, and it was hysterical. It's great. I love it.
The raccoon is awesome. Like Bradley Cooper's
Bradley
really good as
Cooper
Rocket.
kills it as Rocket. I'm gonna
Rocket's
totally agree with you.
hilarious.
Rocket
He's
is
so funny.
solid, and you know, and in the second movie, depth of character and stuff.
He's funny. He's funny in the Avengers ones too. Like Rocket's one like
I like
the best. He's just like a giant, small actually, like a
And-
small asshole.
It's a giant asshole in a small.
Yeah, he's always making fun of shit. It's really funny though.
Yeah.
Plus, dude, when he blows up all those fools in number 2, like on the
Yeah,
planet,
when that's Cameron's favorite scene too.
he
where
sets
he's
up all
like,
those bombs.
dude, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah.
I mean, and then Kurt Russell literally floats through space while riding on top of a space whale. Sounds pretty funny.
Spoiler alert.
Spoil-
You can't,
Just kidding.
You can't spoil the beginning of the movie.
You can't spoil old movies anyway.
I'm
Once
just
the movie's
kidding.
been, once the movie's been out for like any longer than say 2 years, I don't think spoilers work. Hey, Rosebud, it's a fucking sled, guys.
That's right. Rosebud, just like
It's a fucking sled. All right.
Denise doesn't even know what we're talking
Oh, also, in Scream, the boyfriend's the killer.
about. True.
What else can we ruin while we're here?
Let's see. What else can we do?
In Bill and Ted's, they have an excellent adventure.
They do. They do. They beat death. Bill and Ted
5
too.
times.
4 times. Best 4 out of 7.
5. It's 5 out of 7.
No, nobody does 5 out of 7. It's 5 out of 9.
4 out of 7. 5 out of 9. Choose one.
I believe it was 5 out of 7.
No.
Because he says best out of 7.
No, which is 4.
Yeah, of 7 is 4. They beat him in. No, well, we can recap this. We just watched this. First, they played Battleship.
Right?
Then they played
Clue.
Clue. They played Twister.
Twister. And then, number 3 was electric football.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, number 3 was actually
Electronic football, and then Twister.
and Twister was 4, right?
Number 4. That was it.
Okay, you're right.
I think that's it. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
I don't know what an Ann's beer. Oh, yes, we are tasting the same beers, Patty. All 5 beers on each side of the same beer.
Yes, same beers. All right, we'll move on.
Let's move on to beer number 3. This one was the one Corey's looking forward to the most, I think.
This is the one Amber wants us to look forward to the most.
It's my favorite.
I can see this. This is totally Amber's jam right here.
Yeah, this is definitely Amber. I think it's good. It's got that. It's actually kind of got an orange juicy taste.
It does. It has the most citrus flavor, but to me, it's just a little too much. And like I said, I've never been a big fan of these kinds of beers. The really, really juice forward ones. I like hop forward in citrus hops, but I don't like juice forward in. I don't know.
Sometimes I feel like my beer tastes change like week to week. And some weeks I just want to just murder like this super juicy one, and other weeks I kind of want something like a little bit more like
I agree with that.
laid down. It's
Beer is very much a mood thing.
It's kind of weird. I think this is good though. This is good beer. We're not gonna have any bad beer today. I don't think.
I don't think so either. And again, I think it's also a testament. Those breweries make really good beer. It's rare that we've had anything from any one of those breweries that we've bought in the past, that have been bad. We normally like original Pattern. We normally like anything that Novel makes. I can't remember the last time we had something from either one of those guys we didn't like.
So the aftertaste on this is all citrus, like all citrus. I'm really struggling on my score here. I'm really struggling between 24 and 25 on taste. Honestly, I think it's close.
I think it's a good initial taste, but the longer you let it sit on your palate, the aftertaste starts to just annoy me. And I don't mean like a super annoy, just kind of like, yeah.
I like the aftertaste in this too. I think it's probably about the same as the second one. It's really close. I think.
I'm going with a 14 on
So
aftertaste.
what I think is weird here is the drinkability on this one. I'm not sure that I could do like sometimes you'll go to a brewery or whatever and you'll end up with 2 to 3 pints, right? Like,
Right.
Let's be honest, 3 pints.
I
at a
couldn't do
brewery.
3 pints.
If we're not straight brewery hopping, right? Like 3 pints is probably pretty reasonable if we go there. We're there for about 2 hours or whatever. We'll drink 3 pints, play some cards, and shit. It's
Yep.
pretty. It's not.
That's a fairly standard deck. Yeah.
I don't think I could order 3 of this.
I
beer.
could not either, which is why I think it's got to be done in the drinkability.
But I think I could have ordered 3 of beer number 1,
I could have ordered or
possibly 2. But this one is a little too strong on that.
Yeah.
I think it drops it just a little bit on drinkability.
It's one of those things where it's like, a good stout is a very good beer and it can be very drinkable, but you're not going to drink 2 or 3 pints of it because you're just overpowering. It's like eating half a chocolate cake. Like I couldn't eat half a chocolate cake. Even if the cake is really good, at some point it's like I've had enough chocolate cake. That may be wrong.
Executive producer in the back can also apparently not eat chocolate cake. You're like, I can eat chocolate cake. She's like, ugh.
Oh,
So apparently she's not a chocolate cake fan.
I'm
Lemon meat cake.
a German chocolate cake.
Oh, dude, you know her and coconut man.
Yeah, I love me some German chocolate cake.
Speaking of coconut, did you try that Modern Times?
Not yet.
Oh, it's
Not
so
yet.
good.
It looked really good. I haven't, because yesterday I had a couple. I don't know if you noticed that, but I had 1 or 2.
We thought you might have pre-gamed a little bit.
I did. No, I 100% pregame. 100% pregame.
You were here late last night.
I came home from work. I went out for lunch and had 2 beers. And then I came home from work and I had a beer. And the wife's like, "You don't need more beer. You're gonna go drink beer." And I'm like, "Except not quite that angrily." And she was right. I didn't need it, but
I don't know how many beers I had yesterday either, but I got like a minor buzz. I don't think I got a lot of buzz. I did go outside and
I had no buzz, right, Denise? None. Nope. None.
you can tell how faded both Shane and I are actually based on the amount of times we use the F word in like a series of 3 or 4 sentences.
Apparently, I'm the vulgar.
Or when shoes get left behind.
I don't know what, and even our junior executive producer over there is nodding.
No, it's everyone
You
knows
can't blame
that.
me for that.
Everyone knows that as I drink more, I just start cursing more. I just start saying, "I'm gonna fucking do this motherfucking thing right here."
And
And I just use it.
and touchy.
I just use it as an adjective. No, when I get past buzz level, I start to get sort of touchy and huggy for my wife.
Not just me. That's
Yeah.
And literally, there's no one else here.
He doesn't get touchy.
I guess I did touch the Lisa bunch last night.
the rest of your head on her ass.
No.
Oh, you did.
My leg.
No, it was her ass. But anyway, I dropped the card for a card,
She was getting
and I just was reaching down to get the card, and my head happened to stay on her ass for like
It was
2 or
not.
3 minutes. It's fine.
That did not
Not 2 or
occur.
3 minutes.
It's fine, like 10 seconds.
Okay, I need a correction and a retraction of your statement. That did not occur.
Which part?
A little banner across the bottom. The producers of this story deny any knowledge of any head resting on ass.
It was my leg.
It was her leg.
And if you would have gotten any closer to other parts, you would have been smacked.
It was the side back of her leg, roughly where her glute and her quad meets.
I was sitting in a chair. That's not even possible.
Man, it's just fucking right there, like right there. It's like right in that spot right there. That is fucking borderline ass.
Okay, we're moving on to a new topic, and just for the record, that
This
did
is
not
meant to be
occur.
about beer.
No, it's beer splaining. You basically.
Anyway, the point of this rant was that as Shane and I get a little bit more faded, we curse more. It turns out that Shane really curses a lot more. Right? So when I talk, I
know
tend to
from
curse.
experience.
I curse too much as a default. Like my 0 level involves saying the word fuck more than anyone should. Shane's 0 level actually doesn't really involve the use of that word. The problem is that Shane's 20% level involves using that word a ton.
Sounds about right.
Well, my 20% level is just like basically the same as my 0 level on the use of the word fuck. And then once I get to about 50 or 60%, like it just starts going up. And Shane goes up from 20 though, and just keeps going up. So that's why you notice much quicker on Shane. That's what happens.
I think mine's much more like the Richter scale type of thing, where
Like
1/10 of a point is not 1/10 of a point; it's like 100 points. So as I start to go up, it is much exponential.
Also, as it turns out, Shane's very competitive and he prefer you not block his path through the train.
Yes.
I am very
Which I won at.
That's true.
I also know this.
All
from
because my son blocked my path. If he doesn't block my path, I get longest train and I win. I'm just saying.
You don't get the longest train.
I do too.
I had a single
It was a
path.
6.
No, you don't get the longest train because I had a single path and I'm the one who ran out of trains.
That's true.
Literally
You had
impossible for anyone to have. Well, that's not true. I
Because it was-
had a 3 or off. I had a
You
3
had
trainer
one
off.
small offshoot, but you're right. You did actually have more trains on the board. So
And every train in the
Yeah,
board.
but if Shane had been able to play that spot.
But he finished with more trains left in his train pile.
That's right.
Yeah, but.
And because I did have an offshoot too. So.
because he need to get specifically multiple kinds of cards.
Oh no, it's
One
possible.
card.
It's possible. So it was really early in the game, so it's possible
Yes.
it changes the entire
No,
thing.
it changed. It was,
It
because
changes
if I had gotten that link, I would have gotten into the other cards sooner to maybe get different trains. But anyway,
For
But
those
then I-
interested, we're talking about Ticket to Ride. It's really fun. We played with 5 people
it's a
last
fun
night. We
game.
might play it after this. Actually, it's really
it's a
fun.
fun game.
All right, so move on to beer
Number 4.
Oh, and then we're gonna rant about politics for like 2 minutes.
Oh, you're not gonna
Yeah,
say
we have to
that?
talk about Tennessee.
What was that?
I just- We have
What'd
to,
you say?
We have to talk about Tennessee.
What did she say?
It wasn't important.
All right, whatever. Nobody likes her anyway.
These fries are fucking things, right?
I had the same reaction. I'm like,
No, Amber.
This
Next
one's
time you're
curious.
fucking air frying them, because I just bought you an air fryer.
okay, first of all, look, French fries are just better oil fry.
Look,
That's
4
it.
beers in, I used the F word as an adjective for no reason.
Maybe we could do a French fry tasting party next time or in a few weeks.
Well, we don't have an oil
Air
fry.
fryer.
We have-
We
Why
can
would
oil
we-
fry it.
We have a deep fryer. We have a deep fryer. We have
No, you can't use that deep fryer. It's so gross.
Why do we still have it then?
You can pan.
You never got rid of it.
You can pan oil fry it.
It's not the same.
I'm really.
It's
I don't
not.
need
It's
to
really
fry
not.
it
See, junior executive producer agrees. We need
So-
a deep fryer in the house.
All right,
No.
I agree.
I'm
I'm a little torn on this. I
I
feel
agree.
like there's a bunch of flavor right away that I think is nice, and then I feel like it sort of falls flat all of a sudden. It's sort of a weird, it's just like flavor flat. It's, I don't know.
yeah, it's,
I don't know.
it is
Am I
it
wrong?
is a the other one. So here's what I would say. Number 3, I didn't like the fall off because the linger was too long, and at some point it got negative. This one I think is the opposite. It falls off too fast.
Is there even an aftertaste of this?
Well, I just drink some more water because I'm worried that
Maybe I should.
the palate's messed up from the last one.
A little hot murder on your palate. That's how it goes.
But you're right. Like the initial tinge of flavor on the front of the tongue is very, it's
Really
pleasant.
good.
It's tangy, and then you're like, okay, now
Then you're waiting for that second
Right.
level, that second layer
you're
of
waiting
flavor.
for the aftertaste. You're waiting for the rest of the hops to come in and just take over, and you're like, no, it's good. But I would also say this: I think it's very drinkable
It's very drinkable.
because it's not the bad aftertaste that I didn't like in the last one. So it is drinkable.
I mean, I think the taste is really good. I think the taste is actually on par with the first one, to be honest.
I was going to give it a 26 as well.
The aftertaste, though, I
But
think
the
is probably
aftertaste
the worst
is-
of it. It's just,
I would
it just
agree.
falls off super fast, like
I
super
agree.
fast.
I give it a 13 on aftertaste,
I went
which is
to
my
14.
lowest aftertaste.
So drinkability is a weird spot here. Like, I mean, I can drink multiples of these, but honestly, if I had this as my first beer, I'd likely order a different beer next time.
I would agree with that. I think you know what? That's a good way to put it.
Like, I'm not sure I'd do that on number 1. Number 1, I might just be like, that was great. Like, just give me another pint of that.
Yeah, I'll take another one. I can see what you're saying.
It
That,
sort of
that
falls down a little bit.
you would hope that the next one maybe just gives you that little bit more spark that this one is missing. So I think that's fair. So I would still say it's more drinkable than number 3, but not as drinkable as the other 2. So
I
I'm
think
going to 24.
I think it's one lower, because I just don't like how it falls off. I feel,
I agree.
I don't know, it's weird, man. 8, 9, 16, 42, 46, 56, 59, 79. That's my worst beer so far. I mean, it's a good beer. 79 is not a bad score. Don't get me wrong. It's not
All
a
right,
bad
yeah,
beer.
these
It's
are not
fine
bad beers. 16, 42, 55, 78.
We have that Pilsner taster coming up.
That's
too.
right.
So. All right, so let's rant about something. You want to rant about Tennessee?
I need to rant about Tennessee. So
Go
I'm not really sure how a more than 1 year in jail is not an unreasonable sentence for protesting.
Who wants to pause? Oh, you can't really pause live. It's just sort of.
You can't pop. You can say, hold on.
We can take a quick break. All right. Shane's gonna rant about
I
Tennessee
will,
real quick.
I will rant about
I'm gonna
Tennessee.
take a break to set up some food so you guys can see
I
it.
will rant about Tennessee because I just don't.
Get it, Shane.
Because the nature of the
Bullshit.
felony is it's more than a year in prison. That's the requirement to be a felony. And what you're saying is because you're protesting on state property, you are now guilty of a felony and can be sentenced to more than 1 year in jail. Now, is that the reason that they're doing it? No. Because also in Tennessee, if you're found guilty of a felony, you lose all rights to vote. And that's really what it's about. It's
I'm
about
just
stripping
saying-
people,
You shouldn't strip the right for people to vote, like at all, even if they commit felonies.
which we have talked about. Corey was very much for the Florida model, which reinstituted the right to vote for people who were convicted of felonies. I'm torn on that. I can see both sides of it. My problem with Tennessee is the irony of this country was founded on protest. We literally created our country on protesting. And now we're trying to turn that into a felony. And I also point out the dichotomy between which protests you approve of and don't approve of. For example, the Bundy Ranch protest, which took over a government building in Oregon, those people were cheered. The people who went to Wisconsin with semi-automatic rifles and went into state government buildings, including their legislative building, armed with guns. Now, they didn't threaten anybody, they didn't harm anybody, but they went in armed with guns and protested on state property. Heroes. People protesting because they don't believe minorities are treated properly by the police. Felons. I don't understand the difference there. And so I would just say, if you're going to have a standard. Don't be inconsistent. So if you believe the protesters in Tennessee should be felons, then you should also believe the ones in Wisconsin should be felons and the ones in Oregon. Is that wrong? No? No? I convinced my jury.
I'm not a part of this.
You're not a part of this. What's the other thing we talked about? Okay, so apparently also my wife and children and apparently Corey have found this new game. What's it called? Fall Down?
All guys.
Fall Guys.
Fall Down.
Which I don't know. It's not Fallout Boy. That much I know. Fall Guys, which they seem to enjoy quite a bit. I have not played it yet. What in the world is that, Corey Strong? Can you see it on the camera? Junior executive producer?
Yes. It's like we're in HP.
Look at the ridiculousness of that.
Victoria, did you bring them forward?
I did.
You didn't come back for a plate.
Right about
Now you
there.
can, yeah, that's
Whoa.
a perfect spot.
Yeah,
For those interested, today's meal is
6,000 calories.
from scratch
Very nice.
French fries, hoagie rolls with hot links, and I believe that's probably a brisket chili.
Is it Amber's homemade brisket chili?
It is Amber's homemade brisket chili.
Is it wrong that all I want to do is dip the fries in that brisket chili?
Shane's probably most right. It's going to be a lot of calories.
But I still need more fries.
But it looks amazing. Karen?
That's it.
And I
Is
think
it
So
not
we got
amazing?
today.
I can't say it doesn't look amazing.
So,
It's important to highlight these. Eventually, we'll refer you to a webpage where you can look at those too, but we're waiting on that stuff. So
are
your
we doing
Tennessee
a
round.
cooking page?
Not yet.
The Tennessee round.
Almost done, you guys.
So on your Tennessee round, I agree. I just don't think that we should be taking away the right to vote from people when they commit felonies. So I'm a little torn on whether or not people in prison should have the right to vote while they're in prison or serving out a sentence. I'm torn because the reality is we live in a representative democracy, and
They lost
You
all their
are-
rights.
they didn't lose all their
They
rights.
didn't lose
It's
all their
literally
rights.
not a thing that can happen.
Absolutely true.
The problem is that, sorry. So the problem is that they count those people for, federally and also
is true.
statewide, I think,
Yes.
for representation
Yes.
purposes. So if you are a representative, of an area with a large prison, you've got the entire prison population technically under your representation.
That's correct.
But we don't give them the right to vote at all, which feels weird. Like, right? What is it? Because I mean that's clearly like they should be
It's-
represented.
It is
not
again.
taxation,
It's not,
they're
but
not taxed. So
I mean, it isn't, but it is, and
all right, we'll put us back to that.
it's
Your
you're
movies are-
legislating
movies are-
for them. You're legislating for them, but not with them, and you're using them to help. Like I say, there are prisons in Southern California that hold tens of thousands of people, and the population of those counties are exceedingly higher because of the inmate population.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I feel like if you get counted, you should probably, and you're of legal age, you should probably have the right to make your voice heard. But at the same time, I also agree that when you committed certain crimes, you've lost the ability necessarily to
You lose some rights.
contribute to society in that way. I think that's not an unreasonable thing. I don't think it's reasonable once you've served your time and been released that you can then be farther punished. I actually think that is a problem with our society just in general. We have an issue with felons and with criminals where we say, hey, prison is about rehabilitation.
Correct.
And you've done your time and you've been rehabilitated and now you've been released back to society, yet we continue to punish you after you've finished your
Is
parole
there
time,
any much a
your
Scarlet
probation
Letter type
time,
thing?
which I feel is really wrong. Like either they've served their time and they should be allowed to recontribute to society in the way in which they can, or the time isn't really enough I mean, is there a good answer? I don't know. There's a good answer. Certainly not for sex offenders. I think sex offenders are probably the most complicated criminal thing of all time, frankly. Because nobody wants a sex offender in their neighborhood, basically ever. But at the same time, like, I'm not sure that we should just murder them, because that's clearly the only other good alternative. Right? Life in prison without parole, murder them, let them out. Those are really the three options. That's just reality, because, that just is.
But life in prison without parole.
But I mean, it's so much more pricey than just murdering them.
It actually isn't.
It isn't, but it should be.
And that's the.
It isn't, but it should
be. The reality
right.
is, it's cheaper in California to keep someone in prison for 60 years than it is to execute.
So I don't know. So that's more of a generalized rant. I'm sorry, I'm sorry about generalized rant. So Tennessee is bullshit though, because it is obviously a targeted effect.
Yep.
Because the protests going on in Tennessee are BLM activists and liberals and progressives, and they just want to be all like, oh, you want to be all like progressive, then you can't vote, which is some bullshit, frankly. The truth is, the Republicans win by voter suppression and by reducing voter turnout. They just do. There are more people in America who are registered as Democrats and who lean towards Democrat than there are Republicans. You can look that up. There just are. Admittedly, 50% of our goddamn nation just doesn't fucking vote.
Fake news. It's all fake news.
So I just think it's bullshit. All right, I'm gonna drink this last beer. And then I'm gonna eat this fucking hot dog. So if you have any questions, ask us some questions because we want to answer them.
There are no questions.
That's fine. There's only like one viewer anyway.
Okay, wow.
Patty's with us. You love.
We love that. I don't know what the fruit is in there. I really, really like that.
It's like a stone fruit, right?
I don't know. I really like it. Well,
it's really good.
That's really good.
This is really, really good. This beer is not. It's literally not like. It's not like any of the previous four beers all share some similarities.
Yes, this one is.
This is a different beer.
This and really, I like this beer a lot. Like this is.
It's stone fruit's what it's gonna stand at. It's got some special hop too. It's probably some weird shit.
Zappa. First of all, always down with the Citra hops.
Zappa.
This fucking beer's
like Frank Zappa.
Man, this beer's good.
You're on number 5, right?
I agree with you. This beer is real. This is my favorite beer of the day.
You're on number 5, right?
Yeah.
This taste is.
This beer's on fire, man. It's on fucking fire.
Wow.
28 on taste, like easy.
100%. And actually, I'm gonna give it a 29 on drinkability. I think it's my highest drinkability score I can remember doing. The aftertaste isn't perfect.
Too.
It's really good. I'm gonna give it
it's like a 17 or something.
I'm gonna give it an 18.
Yeah, drinkability is probably like a 28 on this for me. It's roughly the same as taste. I think it's about the same, 8-15.
I gave it a 29. It's literally
88.
So I got 14, 42, 60, 89. 89.
All right, executive producer, bring out the beers.
What do you mean?
I said Denise, sorry. I just
My
whispered.
Aunt Amy is watching this.
Hi, Aunt Amy.
One of the Nielsen clan out in Utah.
That's one.
One of my dad's 6 or 7 or 8, 12 sisters. That's complicated. Don't think so.
It's always
One.
Beer number 1,
2.
not surprised at all. Beer number 1, novel.
I thought number 2 was the Modern Times. So
Number 2, Ghost Town Velvet Glove. We will read more about them as we introduce them. I want to take one of these fries and just dip it in the chili.
You better do it before it gets cold.
3 is the Modern Times.
Oh, it's the 5, okay.
I'm really surprised 3 is the Modern Times, frankly.
And you know what?
Oakland United.
Oakland
number 5.
United.
Wow.
And so that was the first time. Well, I guess we should go through these in order, right? We're supposed to go through these in order. So we'll start with beer number 1, Wordplay by Novel. Again,
I got second in mine.
and it's actually my second favorite beer as well. Imagine the feeling of placing
Damn, these are
tiles that add up to 392 points, and when read in conjunction with the adjacent word, makes the perfect pun to razz your opponent. And then you realize that the anagram of the word is a spoonerism for the band playing your favorite song. What the?
Who the fuck writes
I
this,
don't
man?
know. Favorite song, which just so happens to be playing over the bar speakers. Now take that feeling and pour yourself a glass of it, and you get this hazy IPA hopped up for notes of pineapple, mango, and grapefruit. And I agree with all of that. It's got a great flavor.
It's good. It's really good.
It's enjoyable.
It's really good.
And again, we really we really do recommend novel brewing if you get a chance to be in that area.
It's great.
Actually,
It's
between
small. When they open back up, their tasters are literally in little books.
it's great. The whole themes between you know, the book themes and everything having like a beer having some sort of
Book
literary
names, yeah.
component to it.
It's really good.
The tasters in the books, the checks come in a book.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and there are bookshelves everywhere. The owners, the husband and wife are amazing.
They're super friendly. They're there
Love
like
those
all the
people.
time.
Yes. So if you get a chance to, please go check out Novel Brewing in. Is it in Berkeley technically?
It's absolutely in Berkeley. Tell them Beer Splaining sent you. They won't know what the fuck you're talking about, but you might as well tell them that shit anyway.
Oh my god, so
Hang on, I'm gonna do the next beer. Hold on.
Okay. Good, because I kid you not.
Oh,
All I want to
give
do
it back.
is pour the chili over these fries and just eat it all day long.
She probably has more chili.
Well,
At Napa Brewing, I also like how they bring out the beers on the.
yeah, we talked about
Yeah,
that.
so
The taters come out on a book.
Beer number 2, Velvet Glove from Ghost Town Brewing. It is a hazy IPA with Equinox, Waimea, and Centennial. The extra words on this are: government warning, according to the Surgeon General, women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy because of the risk of birth defects. 2, consumption of alcoholic beverages impairs your ability to drive a car or operate machinery and may cause health problems. That is way less literary than the one on Novel.
Well, I hate to bring it to you, that is on every single can sold in California. It's a required disclosure. It's a law. It's legal stuff. It's stupid, but whatever.
Velvet Glove, Novel. This beer tied for 3rd on mine. Only
It was-
1 point above 4 though.
It was
very, very cool.
it was only
Basically, so just generally tasting, 1 and 5 stood out. The other 3 I effectively rated the same.
so I got 1 and 5. I got 5 standing up, and 1 and 2 very close. Basically 2 points. I went to 85 and 83. So I enjoyed them very much. I'm gonna finish killing number 5.
I'm admittedly surprised how good I like number 5, honestly.
You gonna do number 3?
I'll take 3. You can
Okay. I'll do number 4.
Number 3 is MT5 from Modern Times. This is a double dry hop New England IPA. This beer is vegan. I think most beers are vegan, aren't they?
Technically,
Um,
is lactose vegan? That's what I don't know.
Do you have some Modern Times here?
no, only one Modern Times beer. There's really no other information. This one was brewed in San Diego. This is our one non-Oakland beer, but we picked it up in Oakland, so that's
So it counts. No, it totally does.
I gave this an 80. I thought the best rating on this, I think, was the taste. Yeah, so it was really very, very close to number 2. I just like the smell a little bit better on number 2, but I think the drinkability on 2 was better. So it's a solid beer. I would have no problem ordering it.
I thought it was a very good beer. It's just not one of my favorites for today. And again, I'm really not a big fan of the orangey, citrusy looking beers. Beer number 4, Lucid Illusion from Original Pattern Brewing, a hazy IPA at 6.9% ABV. With New Zealand, Waimea, Mosaic, and Idaho 7 hops. Idaho 7, yes. I've actually seen those hops a few times. I'm not normally a big fan of them, but I thought this beer was
weird for me.
Again, it was a good beer, but it was.
That beer was weird for me because I gave it a 26 on taste, but I only gave it a 14 on aftertaste.
and that was exactly. I went 26 and 13.
Which
So
I think
it's
is really weird.
It's very
normally
strange.
the spread is not that big.
Nope.
Amber, what was your favorite beer?
The 3rd.
The Modern Times. That makes sense.
Which we both thought would be.
That makes sense.
And then finally, our favorite beer.
Honestly, the surprise for me, I'm surprised. We have not had this before. We only got 1 can. We literally can't have this anymore. It's
I know.
part of the mixed 4-pack we got.
It was part of the mixed 4-pack that we got, and I'm very disappointed that we don't have anymore. First Responder Hazy Double IPA at 8% and 50 IBUs, which is surprising because that's actually a very low IBU.
No, that's true. It wasn't very bitter at all, though, to be fair. It really wasn't bitter.
And they write, this is our shout out to heroes working in the front lines against COVID-19, especially the medical professionals, like one of our executive producers here, risking their lives in this fight. Thank you. In your honor, Oakland United is contributing a percentage of the proceeds from this beer to support local COVID-related charities. Oh yeah, before we forget, what you're holding in your hands is a bold, hazy double IPA jam-packed with Citra, Simcoe, and Zappa hops. Do what you can, try a can.
It's gotta be the Zappa.
No, I love this part. It is a Zappa. Do what you can, try a can, then wash your hands. Solid. And again, we have not been to Oakland United
If you're in
before.
Oakland, like, I don't know, Brett,
Yes.
go here or try this beer, man.
What about Matt? I mean, he's kind of.
No one doesn't drink the beer.
He doesn't drink beer.
He doesn't drink it, yeah. So that's it for today. I think our final. Well, we don't have to rant. There's no more rants, I think. Well, I mean, hey, Joe Biden is apparently the Democratic nominee for president, but that's really not a huge surprise.
And apparently, the big Republican takeaway from the convention was all he could do is read from a teleprompter. And there's so much irony there.
I think we definitely
lead that.
All I'm saying is I hope the Republican National Convention ends with President Donald Trump, not on a teleprompter. Frankly, I would fucking love it. It'll be amazing. I can already recap for you. The blacks are coming to the suburbs to murder you. No, that's accurate. That's my recap of him not on the teleprompter.
And on that note,
Am I not supposed to say shit like that? We're going to alienate like
probably not.
35% of the population.
Probably not.
Well, that's fine. I'm cool with it. 65%. It's totally fine. You know I'm right, though. Like, you read his tweets, man. He's just like, if Joe Biden is elected president, the suburbs will be destroyed.
I wasn't going this far, but you know, what are you going to do? With that, folks, thank you for joining us. Enjoy the beer. Enjoy the food. We'll see what. Oh,
next week recap. So next week, sorry, he tried to sign us out early. Douchebag.
Trying to get us around the political conversation, if that's okay.
It's fine. The black people coming to murder you. It's not a big deal. So anyway, next week will be our first live on location show.
Yes.
We'll be at a Fairfield brewery. We're aiming for Heretic. But there are a couple other options we might try because they're near our hotel. That's executive producer number 1 book. So
yeah, so it's on location.
next weekend is Beer Snob Esquire's anniversary. I think they've been married for something like 37 years. I don't fucking know.
That can't be because my wife's only 39, so I'm not sure how that works.
Well, you maybe you're Now I brought religion into it too. That's a worse. This is not a great episode.
And my age.
Not a great episode. Also, I rested my head on her ass.
That did
welcome
not
to Beer
occur.
Spoiler. We talk about everything that does not need to be talked about.
Not a great episode. I'm sorry, you guys. So anyway, happy anniversary to YouTube. We are going to La Toque, which is a Michelin-starred restaurant in Napa. Provided that the fires have not stopped us. I really hope the fires stop. I would send prayers, but I mean, everyone watching this knows that I don't think those do anything.
So we send all of our thoughts.
Positive thoughts, though.
All of the
thoughts.
folks fighting the fires all over California, and there's like 300 fires or something insane.
Yeah, even Jim Lamb got deployed.
Yeah, Jim Lamb got deployed. So be safe, be well.
So next week we're hoping to be on location. Hopefully the sound works out okay in the cut and everything else. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna send the wives up to pick up some flights for us. We're just gonna drink these flights and then yammer on about them. Expect a little recap of what we're eating and what we ate the night before, because you pay this much money for a tasting menu, people should hear about it. Goddamn it!
Look, Corey has never led us astray. Every time we go to one of his really high-end restaurants, we come back more than satisfied. Some of us maybe eat a little too much and get sick on the way home, but that's a whole other issue.
You know what? That's my philosophy of life. When it come to me, I'm going to leave you more than satisfied.
Do we have to put a disclaimer on this saying for the fact that we're two idiots running things?
No, they already know that. That's the point.
They've seen enough episodes.
Fair enough.
That was a great addition there, young man.
Instead of the finish button, I think I'm going to hit the delete.
So next week is our on location. The week after that, I believe, is going to be Pilsner's.
Which hopefully we're going to have a guest star for.
We're hoping for a guest star. Hint, hint, Nathan. And then 3 weeks out, we're looking to do our barrel age
with a guest star.
With hopefully another guest star. Randy, where are you at? Anything else? Any more ways we can embarrass ourselves?
If you're interested in being a guest star on our show, you let us know.
Oh, and hold on, one more.
Oh,
in the coming weeks,
the wheel of
we're going to do the
adjunct.
wheel of adjunct. So, in an episode to come soon, we will be adding adjuncts to beer. We plan to make the wheel have different. We're going to start with Pabst Blue Ribbon and add things to it. We're thinking things like coffee beans or jalapeno juice or mustard. So if you have ideas for what we can put on the wheel of adjunct, please message us, shoot us a text or whatever to let us know what we might add on. And in an episode to come in September, we will do the wheel of adjunct. Very much looking forward to it.
We will add some good stuff too.
It'll be
just add
alternating
stuff.
Good and bad. Like the coffee, I think is going to taste really good.
So we will take some Pabst Blue Ribbon, which is by itself, it's a pretty default lager.
Yep.
And The difference is marginal, frankly. It's just about how long it takes. A stupid thing. I'm not sure I could tell the difference if we blind tasted lagers versus pilsners.
Done.
Upcoming episode.
There. So we're gonna add some good stuff too. So I don't know. It's just worth a shot.
I agree with Kevin. Horseradish is one of the ones that I wanted to.
Horseradish was on the list. That is true.
Yeah.
Vanilla will be on the list for sure.
Vanilla
You guys don't get to pick. Your
We
viewers
can
get
pick
to
some.
pick. No.
No.
Viewers pick it all.
Denied.
Denied.
Viewers pick. Send requests, guys.
I don't think I should pick. Hold on. Because we can just put the stuff in there and you guys can try and guess what's in there.
But you have to spin the wheel on.
Right, you have to. But actually, the way
That's
we'll
fair.
do it is we'll have to do a preview video that we don't get to see where they spin the wheel and decide what to put in the beer. And there'll be a preview video that starts before the show that you guys do, and then you bring the beers to us.
You guys will have to shower.
I'm not going to be in the video.
Put on makeup.
I don't know about that shit.
If it's torturing
The
two
wheel
people,
could
I'm
be
down
its
to
own.
this.
Yeah, actually, Cameron doesn't like doing it at all. He'll do
I
it
don't like
all
torturing
day long.
Okay, Cameron's it. He's gonna spin the wheel.
All right, so
Cameron and Kylie will apparently do our preview show for that. So she'll be in too, I'm sure.
Oh, I don't mind torturing two people. It's fun.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so
do we have anything else?
these Hollands could be spiced, I think.
Yeah, they're not very expensive.
No, they've got a good flavor to them, but I think the chili
That's not a knock on you. You didn't actually make the hot links.
No,
So
it's not.
maybe.
These
you know
ones are
what?
amazing.
If we
Got
do
great
this-
flavor.
If we do this with Lockford hot wing sausages.
there's the sausages.
They're
All right,
hot beer
so-
sausage.
We're gonna end our show today. We actually probably will end this with Lockford sausages because it turns out we're gonna do a little vacation that drives us through Lockford in about 3 weeks. So we probably just stop.
That's true.
So thank you all for joining and for watching. Remember, next weekend we're going to be live on location, and
Yes.
the week after that we're going to do Pilsners for sure. Hopefully with a guest star.
Yep.
If Nate doesn't want to play, someone else wants to come play, and you like Pilsners, let us know. Provided that you don't have COVID, you're
I
welcome
didn't
to come
remember
hang out.
anyone with it.
Correct. And you're not waiting for test results as well, because somebody can't go to work if they're waiting on test results.
Oh my God, right? Seriously.
Thanks for
So
coming.
that's it. Thank you very much. Remember, check out our website, beersplaining.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, just go subscribe. We need 990 more subscribers.
I think it's 989 at this point.
We need more.
We need
more.
lots
We love you all.
Your
Have a good day.
subscribers are over.